Welcome everybody to the game. Breaking news, Left 4 Dead 2 The Last Stand update is not launching on Xbox One consoles. Why? That's where we're going to get to the bottom of, or at least try to do so here. And I will tell you guys, first things first, if you don't already know, all the other Left 4 Dead 2 updates have launched on both PC and the Xbox 360. Now we have Xbox One, okay, but it's backwards compatible with Xbox 360, and Xbox 360 is still able to get updates. So why is the Left 4 Dead 2 update not happening now with the Last Stand update? It's just as old as the PC version, so let's investigate here. In the Last Stand update, we get all kinds of new survival maps and new skins and mods and stuff like that. What they did over there at Valve is they got some of the most badass modders from the community over there to put together this official Valve update and release it on PC only. There's so many Xbox players that are missing out on this and wanting to get their hands on it, and they're really kind of ticked off that it ain't coming to Xbox One at launch, okay? And I'm thinking, why not, man? Like I said before, we get all the other updates, but this is a new generation, okay? I'll give you that. But is it possible to bring it to the Xbox One? Why not get this update in as many hands as you can so these modders, their work here can be played by everybody. Everyone can enjoy it. Valve, you can make some money off the console folks here, and everybody wins, okay? I know you're offering it as a free update on PC, but like you used to do with the Xbox 360, you made us pay for it, and guess what? We happily paid extra money for it that the PC players didn't have to, and we're willing to do that again, okay? I'll throw down, $6.99. That's what Cold Stream was. All right, I'm getting mixed up with Steam here. You guys are making plenty of money over there. I know this might be just a little, what did some commenters say, just a little grain of sand money-wise for you guys, but you know what? You need to do the right thing and get this in as many hands as you possibly can. Now, there might be a good reason to not do this, and that's what we're going to get into here, okay? In my last video, I was trying to decide, is this going to eventually come out on Xbox One? The Jay's dude over there from the development team, the community modders, okay, he's like the PR guy for all that. He made the trailers and everything like that, and I said how much I enjoyed the trailer, and he was nice enough to comment back on my video discussing this thing only launching on PC, and this is what he had to say, okay? He's trying to clear it up for us here, but I still have more questions. All right, let's get to his comment now. Jay said, as for the update not coming to console, it's because the Xbox is too limited in hardware and memory capacity, so updating it would result in a lot of issues and crashes that would break the game for console players. Think of it as trying to upload a 5 gigabyte video to a 16 gigabyte hard drive that's already got 15 gigabytes worth of files on it. Backwards compatibility also isn't an option since it would require us to update the oldest gen the game runs on, which leads back into the crashing and breaking for that specific generation. Cold Stream was only able to be added due to a memory patch from what I've been told, but don't worry yet. If Valve lets us work on another update, we'll look into console updates. While I can't guarantee that it'll yield results, I promise we'll do our best. So basically what Jays is saying here is that it's possible and they're going to look into it for future updates, but this one, the plan ain't to bring it to consoles, and I'm wondering why. If you need a memory patch, then patch the goddamn memory. Do what you got to do. As he's explaining it here, I asked him in my comment back to him, which I didn't get a response from. He said Cold Stream got a memory patch, so I asked him, I said, why isn't another memory patch being used to make room for the Last Stand on Xbox like with Cold Stream? Let's just add some more memory to it. Everyone can fit their DLC in there and everyone wins, right? So I didn't get a response back from that, but I did see that they did a podcast the day before it launched after my video came out and everything like that, where they went into some more detail over there. They had somebody interviewing the modding guys that were hired by Valve there to create this latest update. And what they said here, Jays was on the podcast who left a comment there along with his other modding members from the development team of Last Stand, and one of his partners kind of explained it. Older consoles are not allowed to be updated unless it is in the form form of DLC. Now, this is an update, but you have to pay additional royalties to do a DLC. To get around charging a paywall, they could put it in as a patch using cloud storage, which has been all used up by the Left 4 Dead 2 Coldstream update, which is kind of what Jays was explaining in the comment on my YouTube video. So I think, well, is that where it's capped out, or can you expand on that and still get Last Stand in? And to me, I mean, from the comment he left me, it sounds like there's a possibility of adding more space up onto what was taken up by Coldstream. Otherwise, he wouldn't say we're going to look into bringing more updates to Left 4 Dead 2 to console. So it must be a possibility. Valve just isn't getting involved in it and making it happen. So they go on in the interview to explain a little bit more. One developer says, you can thank Coldstream for using up all of that cloud storage and not letting us have it. But why would Jay say that we can maybe get some console updates later if it really is all used up? I mean, I'm sure like the initial storage is used up, but can we add on to that? Is it going to cost too much for Valve? What's the issue? I'm just trying to clear things up here and get to the bottom of why we aren't getting this on consoles, okay? Just being old and being an Xbox 360 game ain't good enough for me, guys. Does this mean we're never going to get an update to an older game ever on consoles? I mean, come on, guys. If it's still being supported by the console community, the least you can do is update it for them. If anyone needs an update, it's the console community. Don't shun the console community, guys. We'll get to that later, but they go on to say here, the interviewer sums it up by saying, unless Valve wants to charge for it and take a hit on royalties, it's just not going to happen. So that's the take on it right there, guys. Unless Valve wants to charge for it, which console users are used to doing in the past when it was on 360, before it was backwards compatible with Xbox One, we're used to paying for these updates or DLC or whatever you want to call them. So that's no problem, guys. I got my money ready for Valve. Maybe they'll take a hit on royalties. I mean, invest in your community. Invest in it. You might make that royalty hit back in what you're charging the people. I don't know how the business works, just like the developers are saying, guys, here from the community that were responsible for putting Left 4 Dead 2 Last Stand together. This is up to the people over there at Valve. Don't be getting angry at these group of guys, okay? They're just fans of the game who've been modding, and they were hired by Valve to spruce up the game and add some mod ideas and stuff like that. These guys are just doing their thing. I'm sure they would want their game played on consoles too. And like Jay said, man, they're going to look into it for us for the future, but this just was not in the cards for this update. Now, I hope Valve can do something about this and update the Xbox One version of the Xbox 360 Left 4 Dead 2 for us on consoles, man. Don't forget about us. These console players might be future modders, and also these might be future purchasers of a Left 4 Dead 3 if you guys ever put it out, okay? Don't lose your Left 4 Dead fan base by leaving them in the dust with outdated content. They're going to fall off, and when Back 4 Blood releases, guys, Left 4 Dead might be forgot about, so you better keep them updated with your Left 4 Deads, okay? Otherwise, guess what the console players are going to get? Back 4 Blood, and we might jump ship, guys, if you don't support us, all right? We've been trying to support you. We've been paying more than the PC players. The PC players, oh, they keep wanting to brag. Oh, guess what, guys? Just buy a PC. What, are you too poor to buy a PC? Some of us are, okay? But that don't mean we're less than you. I'm tired of you PC elitists, all right? We're working our tails off over here on console, making the most out of the least sometimes. And guess what? Sometimes we don't want to go over there and play with you PC hackers clicking and clacking on your keyboards, okay? No, we want to stick with console where we know everyone's on an even playing field. We're not cheating. We're not hacking. We're not doing any of that bull. We're out here not spending money on graphics cards every other week like a bunch of dum-dums. We're doing our thing out here on console, all right? It's streamlined. We don't have any viruses, nothing like that. Everyone is doing our thing. Simple. That's how we roll out here, okay? We don't want to be on PC. Even if I had the money to buy a whole bunch of PCs and stuff like that, I wouldn't want to do it. Too many hackers. It's getting wild out there. Even the pro leagues, man, they can't control their hackers even in the pro game. games. You guys, it's too easy to hack on PC. I'm not about that cheating stuff, okay? I'm sticking on console where I know people are truthful, and we're working hard out here, okay, to make consoles better. And watch out, you need some competition, and we're bringing it right to you, PC elitists. If it's just about charging money to the console players for the DLC, that's no problem. If you want to pay the royalties, I know Valve has enough money. Let's get this done, guys, so we can play this on consoles, alright? The modders, the people responsible for making this, they want it to go on consoles as well, and I hope they're in talks with you guys right now to get your act together and get this on console for us here. I don't understand why Valve would not want to make this move and get their games on console. I don't care how old it is, alright? Get the thing updated. I don't care if it's an N64 game. If it's on current gen consoles and can be updated, why not do it? Okay, I don't care if you gotta invest and lose a little bit of money here. You're gonna make that back by charging for the DLC, and in the return from the fans you're gonna gain by keeping this game updated and keeping your fan base, who might not even know what Left 4 Dead is because they weren't born when the game was released, but now that it's being updated, they're gonna get into it. So if you ever release another game or more DLC, guess who's gonna keep buying it? And guess who's gonna know what Left 4 Dead is when they didn't before? Okay, think about it, guys. Come on, let's get it together. The podcast host here, he even stated that he's never received more questions in the history of his show than whether the Last Stand update would be updated on Xbox One. I'm not the only one. I've received the comments too, but I knew this was going to be an issue, and I made a video about it not coming already. So my crew, my console coalition already knew this wasn't coming, okay? So they didn't even really have to ask, but we were still holding out faith, and we have faith in Valve that they're going to do the right thing. No, they might not make oodles and boodles of money off of this, but do we think they're going to do the right thing and get this new artwork that these awesome modders are making into the hands of as many fans as they could? I thought that was going to happen, but I have faith in these modders that they know the right thing to do, because he told me there, Jay said he's going to be talking to Valve about this, and they're going to do their best. Now it's up to Valve to get their act together. Don't give these developers a hard time, okay? Like I said, they're trying. Don't give Valve a hard time either. All the people over there, Carrie and Rayman, whatever their names are, they are probably trying as well, and they probably got, there's all kinds of red tape and who knows what going on over there in Valve, and they're probably so focused on VR. They probably all have their VR headsets on. They don't even know that this update's releasing, because they don't even know what's going on in the room around them, because they got the VR Alex headset on. So they're just all out of whack and out of the real world, okay? They don't know what's going on in the real world out here. So, I mean, you don't be hard on them, okay? Just because of that. One of the modders there in the interview, he did say, he gave us some tips. Now, these modders and these developers from The Last Stand, they're trying. I like these guys. He said you can get a JTAG and patch the SHIT in if you want to. Now, that's illegal. I'm not suggesting that, but there's some workarounds to maybe get this on Xbox if Valve isn't going to do it themselves, okay? There's maybe some things you can do, okay? But I just want to forewarn you guys that this is illegal, and there might be some repercussions if you do the modification route to your console, okay? I'm just trying to warn you, because I don't want you guys ending up in jail. Valve, just please release this thing so people aren't ending up in jail, and we got the fan base of Left 4 Dead continuing from the console crowd and the PC crowd. You need as many fans as you can muster up here, and keep them loyal and do the right thing, man, and keep them playing your games, because guess what? You got some big competition coming. I think that's part of the reason why you pulled out this update, because you want to make sure your game's spruced up to compete with Back 4 Blood coming from Turtle Rock over there, okay? So, I mean, guys, don't be ticking off your fans, and don't leave them over there on the Xbox One island where they aren't getting updates. And guess what? If it ain't updated enough, they're going to be moving to Back 4 Blood, which is releasing on consoles, okay? That whole fan base, as small or big as it is going to be transferring over, and it might keep growing on that side, and Left 4 Dead really is going to be Left 4 Dead. All right, I don't want that to happen. I want there to be healthy competition to make the best game win, okay? But we'll see what happens, all right, when this thing releases and Back 4 Blood comes out and everything like that. Console players could be sitting next to you soon, okay? They could be future modders. They could be future Left 4 Dead 3 developers. Now, you don't want to miss out on pulling these people in if they're on console now, okay? And maybe later they become developers and stuff like that. Console players are constantly looked down upon, and I can't stand that, guys. There's a reason, like I stated earlier, that we're not going to PC, and there's pluses and minuses on both sides, and the pluses just make sense for me on console. I'm not knocking you for being on PC. Don't knock me for being on console, okay? Just because when you're aimbotting and I still beat you on these cross-platform games, don't be getting all mad at me, okay? I'm just keeping it real out here and trying to stick up for my console coalition, and I will always do that because I'm one of you guys, and I'm looking out for you PC guys too. You guys need some healthy competition over here on the console side to make the PC guys really work harder and to elevate their game over there as well. So I'm just trying to do the right thing and make sure the right thing is done by these game companies. When they're just looking at charts and graphs and stuff like that, it might not add up, but when you really think of the big picture here, what is the right thing to do? What's going to pay off in the long term? Okay, think about that. And until next time, this has been Rusty Pfluger. Rusty Pfluger, over and out.